Good evening, everybody. This is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. And tonight it is June 23rd, and it's about 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. As you can see in the window behind me, we are having another gorgeous sunset. We've been having some warmer days here, and I don't know if that makes better sunset or not. But I tell you what, the combination of the golden glows from the sunsets and the clouds in the sky, and then the green crops and the green grass, it just makes for just a picture square, opportunity to watch a sunset. But so anyway, by the time I get done tonight, that window will probably be a little darker. But let's go ahead and let's do some stamping. And welcome, Dale. I see you're on here. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be doing some Glimmer brush painting tonight. We are also going to be using the Pecan pie cardstock that goes very, very well with a silly old bear. So I am going to go ahead and turn you down to my work surface to show you this beautiful silly old bear suite. Now keep in mind, this is the third week that we have been working on this mega suite, because just a minute, I'll go ahead and point you down. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera back so you will see my beautiful ink pads, and you can kind of see my little iPad over there that I look at while I'm doing the videos, just to make sure that what you're seeing, of course, is what I want you to see. And let's go see. We got to put this out a little bit further and then pull it out this way more. Okay, so here is my work surface. And as you can see, I don't know what this little black thing is over here. Must be part of my, oh, it's this right here that it's seeing. Okay, well, let's go ahead and, I don't know, I must have my, darn it, I must have my phone in the holder differently tonight. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was this silly old bear suite collection. It is an online exclusive. So right now we have the one catalog, which we're going to have for let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so we're going to have 3 catalogs a year, which is something new, for 4 months. So this is our current catalog that we have, and besides having stamps in the catalog, we also have what we call online exclusives. And you can go online by going to stampinup.com and typing in online exclusives, and it will show you all of the extra projects, or excuse me, the extra products that we have. And just because they're online exclusives doesn't mean that they're going to be around any longer than what the stamps are in the catalog. The way a stamp set or designer series paper is kept in the pick line is if it's a popular suite, popular DSP, or popular die, then the products may be carried over, and they may move from the catalog then to an online exclusives. So the reason for that is Stampin' Up! produces our catalogs like 2 years out. So it's kind of a, it's not a guessing game, but for lack of layman's terms, better layman's terms, I'm going to say it is a guessing game because they have no idea, you know, what's going to sell. But I can tell you that the colors that they have right now, the in colors, are very much on trend. So I am very, very pleased with what they have done so far. So let me raise this just a little bit. So tonight, again, we are going to be working with mainly with the Silly Old Bear DSP, which is this right here. What I've done is, excuse me, I've cut out pieces of 2x4 inch of the different papers, and then I've you know, cut them in half so they're 2x2, and then I've done side A and side B. So in this paper pack that is 12 by 12, and you can see that I have used quite a bit of it. I have some sheets left, mainly the sheets that are for the die cuts, or like what we're going to use tonight. These are all ready for you to do. All you have to do is take your paper trimmer, trim across here, and you automatically have card fronts. So this is the piece of DSP that we're going to be using tonight. And on the back of this, isn't that cute? Yeah. But there's no way that I would cut this up to have that. So I wanted to show you that. The piece that we're going to be using tonight goes with our Casing Tuesday sketch. And if you saw that, it is sketch number 570. And the picture that we're going to be using is this little Winnie the Pooh sitting on the tree with lots of jars of honey. Now, I assume they're all honey, but maybe there's jam, whatever he has graciously lifted from other people's homes. That's what this is. So we're going to be using that piece. Now that piece measures 4.5 by 3. So those of you that are crafting with me tonight, I don't know if there is anyone joining me tonight that is crafting. I need to, hi Nancy, how are you? Hope your Zoom call was good last night. I'm so sorry that I had to miss it. Yeah, you have almost none of that DSP left. I love it. You know, I've been kind of scotch with it. But now, as I'm, you know, this is my 3rd week, I think I'm not getting tired of using it, but I'm ready to do some other things. So I will be going through my paper too, Nancy, like you did. I've been seeing your projects, and they're absolutely beautiful. If you're wondering what we're going to do next week, we're going to work with the beautiful embossing folder that comes with this, which is the 100 Acre Woods. That's what we're going to be using next week. So then we won't have used every single stamp, every single die, but we will have used a lot of them. So let's go ahead and get back to our card sketch. Now you take an 8.5 by 11, cut it at 5.5, and score it at 4 1/4. That is how you get your card base. And I am using pecan pie tonight. Then the next thing you will need is a piece of, and this is very vanilla, that is in the Silly Old Bear. White does work too, but I prefer to use the very vanilla, even though I didn't realize it till just now I was going to do white inside. We'll have to maybe change that. because we'll have enough time, because this card sketch will go fast. So anyway, the second, or the, okay, so the card base is the card base, pecan pie. Then the first layer is 3 7/8 inches by 3 5/8 inches. That's what this piece of paper is going to be. And then obviously the second layer would be 4 1/2 inches by 2 3/4. And that layer is bigger than this other layer. So I may choose to do something like this. This card does have to go horizontal since our card front is going that way. And then we will need a sentiment, and the sentiment in the sketch was 2 5/8 inches by 5/8 inches. And this piece of vanilla, or very vanilla, is 3 by almost a little over 1 1/2. So it is bigger than what we need. And then, like I said, I have a vanilla envelope. And then let's really fast pull out a piece of the very vanilla, and let's go ahead and with our trimmer, let's go ahead and trim out an inside cardstock so that we have that done. And I am going to do like 4 inches. So I will do this. Make sure, well, you can do your cutting blade. So we'll do 4 inches by 5 1/4. So that's about what we will do. So let's go ahead and put this extra piece of very vanilla back into my hanging file folders and put the trimmer away. And you now have the inside of the card, which will go something like that. Doesn't that look a lot better than the white? So let's go ahead, so I don't use it by mistake. I have a bunch of card insides ready to go. I have 3 or 4 different sizes, and I keep them right off to the left of me here so I can just grab them as I am working. Okay, so let's go ahead, and then I have some DSP that we are going to cut an animal out of. We will fussy cut it. There are dies that come with this that you could use to cut out like tiger and but I don't have a problem fussy cutting. As a matter of fact, I find it very, very relaxing. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is there is a technique where you can kind of add some additional texture to your cardstock by running your scissors over the edges. And so we'll do that at the top and the bottom. And this just, like I said, just gives it more texture. I like doing this especially when we're doing outdoor scenes such as this. So that will be what we did there. So what I did was I just took my scissors, and it's kind of messy, but yet not real messy. So so let's go ahead and put this together. I'm trying to decide, because on my first card that I made earlier, isn't that cute with his little home in the tree there? And if you look really close, can you see all of the birds sitting on that branch? I don't know if you noticed that, Nancy, or not. Did you? If you look really, really close on that branch, there are a lot of birds. So it is a very, very happy place. So I think what I'm going to do, since there is an overabundance of honey already on there, I am not going to stamp the jars of honey on this one like I did that one. So let's go ahead and just put some dimensions on the back of here. Now I do want to show you that, as you can see here, I'm getting towards the end of my dimensionals, and when that happens, you can also use this part of your dimensions, okay? So what I'm going to do, so that the center of this does not sag, I'm going to go ahead and just put some dimensionals like that in the center, because it's going to be a pretty focal part of our card. Sorry about that. I have butter on my hands right now, trying to decide where to put this. I have a nice workspace. I don't know why my fingers get buttery at times, but they sure do. Now, if you notice, you could take the backings off of these middles if you want to, but they really don't have any purpose other than holding up the center of the card. So let's go ahead and put this on our card. Something like in the center of this, something like this. Now, those of you that looked at the card sketch, that card was going horizontal like this. And then this piece, you know, wasn't this long, so it went something like this, and there was a little bit more of that first layer sticking out. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it like this, okay? And I want to do some tone on tone stamping, and I have a heart that I have kept out from the 12 days of Christmas, and I have used it, I don't know, I use it every week here in my stamp room. I may not always use it on my cards, but I do use it a lot. So tone on tone is just taking the same color of ink and stamping randomly on the card base. Now you can kind of put this on here as a mark to decide, you know, how far down you want to do things. I always like to do things going off the card, and then you do want to turn your stamp as you're stamping so that it's not perfect. Okay, so that is what I have done there. I will keep this out because I'll probably use it on the inside. So let's go ahead and put some more dimensionals on this. Actually, what I'm going to do is since I have dimensionals on the first layer, I am just going to go ahead and put some adhesive in the center of this card, and we will do something like that. Now, if you've noticed, I am stamping on a piercing mat. When we have the photopolymer stamps, you just get a better impression if you use your piercing mat. And then when I use my adhesive, you want something more solid. And I do use the glass mat. And then if just in case I may put adhesive on it and I'm not ready for it yet, I will stick it back down to the silicone mat. Okay, so now what we need to decide is what sentiment we're going to put on it. We can do this, but as you can see, there's a lot of sky. So I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to go ahead and pick one of the sentiments from the Sweet Words, which I have to reach back here to get that. They have some really neat sentiments, and right now it's not where it's supposed to be, so that's okay. We'll just keep going here. So we could do old friends are the best friends. We could do sometimes when you go looking for happiness, happiness finds you. I think that is really precious, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now, I just realized, you know, I kind of changed my plans in the middle of things, and this first layer is up on dimensionals, so I'm gonna have to make sure that I find a fairly flat surface to put this on, and I'm gonna take a big chance here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead 1, 2, 3, and I'm using the pecan pie, and then I am going to just stamp and not use a lot of pressure, but just kind of hold it there so that the paper does absorb the ink. Whoo! I did it, you guys. I did it. I didn't mess up. So I kind of didn't think I would, but I kind of thought maybe I would, because when you're on live TV, you just never know what's going to happen. So sometimes when you go looking for happiness, happiness finds you. I think that is just so, so cute. So I am going to, I already used my heart on here, so I won't use it just quite yet. But what I'd like to do is I'm going to cut Mr. Owl out, and oh goodness, I'm not very good about these names. So if you know the name of Mr. Owl, maybe he's just Mr. Owl, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this owl out, because you just can't have enough little creatures on your card. So, and the back of this is the sky. That's what the back of that paper is. So you could use that too. So again, when I fussy cut, I do not move my scissors. What I'm doing is I'm moving my paper. So as I am cutting out his little feet, you can just move the paper and it gets a really good, I feel, like I told you earlier, I don't mind fussy cutting. Sometimes when you do the die cuts, it moves a little bit on you. Plus, I'm just lazy. Have to get out the, you know, cut and emboss machine. You got to tape the die on there. So here we are. We're all done. So, so what we're going to do here is we are going to put the owl something like, we could put him on this side, or we could put him on this side. I think he belongs more on there. So we're going to go ahead, and I know we did dimensionals already, but we are going to go ahead and put some dimensions on him to, you know, pop him up. And I am going to, I got that one a little close. I don't think it's going to show. Yep, it is going to show just a little bit. So if that's the case, just kind of take your fingernail, or better yet, let's just add an angle. So these are our boo-boos that Darla is fixing online as she goes. Sometimes the boo-boos turn out to be the best part of the card. So what I did was I just carefully cut off the very corner of that, because I do want to still have it raised on the card. So because we don't want him, you know, floating in the air, we do need to kind of put him you know, somewhere on the tree. So we're going to go ahead and put him right there. Now, I don't know if Winnie the Pooh knows that he's there or not, but obviously Mr. Owl knows that he's there, and he's there to help him, isn't he? So that would be the outside of the card. I am going to go ahead and I should have checked to see if these were available still, the shades of green hexagons. There's some really, really pretty, almost clear with a little bit of yellow, light green in them. So let's go ahead. I have 2 of those. So let's go ahead and put those on the front. When you do embellishments, you want to do them in 3s, okay? So let's go ahead and do this one right here. I'm using the Take Your Pick tool, and it's got a little bit of putty on it, so that makes it easier to grab. Sometimes it's just hard to know where to put the third one at. So just put it someplace. You don't have to overthink it. So that is the front of our card, and what a nice simple card. Now wait, the beauty is going to be on the inside of this card. What we are going to do is we are going to stamp the, Winnie the Pooh stamp on the beginning, or not on the beginning, facing us on the inside now, because he's here for the party. We are going to stamp a little jar of honey. We'll put that right on the floor next to him, because that's just how he rolls. And on the inside of this one, we are going to put the best kind of days, our days spent together. So let's go ahead and stamp that, and we're gonna put that like right close to him. If it'll give you plenty of room to write. Let's go ahead and do one more thing. We're gonna do that little heart, and I have done the pecan pie ink on this. So now comes the fun part. We're going to take our, remember I told you we're going to use a shimmer brush. This is the Golden Glow, one of the new in colors. It is sparkly. So when you get this, there will be a white ring that you will need to remove, and the white ring will be just before this little plunger here, and that is mainly just to keep it secure during shipping. Okay, so I have been using this a little bit earlier, so I think my brushes are primed up, but if they're not, there it says push here, so then you push it until you see it going down into the barrel. And this Golden Glow is a perfect color for Winnie the Pooh. So we're going to go ahead and color him. Sometimes he has a red shirt on. Tonight he doesn't have his shirt on. So we're just going to go ahead and I have not pushed any more ink to come down. You have to be really careful with this, because when you do push, you want to make sure you have your hand underneath of it, or you've got some scratch paper. And that's what this paper is right here. It's scratch paper. So what do you think of that? Winnie the Pooh. Now you do need to let this dry just a little bit. Obviously, the more layers you put on it, the more you have to let it dry. So we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glimmer on the jar too. Okay, so there is our Winnie the Pooh and our jar of honey. And one thing I haven't done for quite a while, because it seems like I haven't done a lot of I'm going to go ahead and close this for right now. I haven't done a lot of animals. I've done it with the Wild Bunch, and I did it earlier tonight with the Winnie the Pooh. But you always want to make sure that they have a ground that they're sitting on. You don't want them floating in the air. So what I'm doing, this color is Light Pool Party. And then to make Winnie the Pooh stand out more, I just do an outline around him on the outside. It's not very wide, and you can make it as wide as you want or as thick as you want. I just make it like that. So it's kind of like a shadow effect that you make on him. So, and as you can see, that just kind of warms up the Winnie the Pooh. Now let's go ahead and let's do the jar of honey too. Now, who likes Winnie the Pooh on here? I know when I had my firstborn, I did my nursery in Winnie the Pooh. So obviously, that brought back a lot of good memories. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut out another animal and put on here. And what I wanted to show you was on this first card that I did tonight, I had this left over in the corner. So I just went ahead and fussy cutted that out and put that in the corner. So it looks like they're walking into the party with Winnie the Pooh. So you can use all of your DSP. So let's go ahead and put the center of our card inside of our card. This is Casing Tuesday, number 570. And in a little bit, before we end, I'm going to show you some of the June paper pumpkin that I have created using that Casing Tuesday 570. And I'm not sure if I'm going to post these Winnie the Pooh cards this week, or if I will post my my paper pumpkin. Also, I wanted to now we have always had Winkastella, which is just a clear glitter pin. It doesn't have the color in it, and so what I wanted to do was just kind of highlight the owl's eyes and then his chest. I love owls. For a couple of summers, we had several mama owls with babies, but I don't know what happened. We took down a bunch of ash trees. I don't think they like ash trees. I think they like just any kind of old tree. But anyway, my son now has a huge owl over there, and I just find them fascinating. So this is our first card that we have made tonight with the pecan pie, and I can't stop here. We need to do our envelope, okay? And I got an envelope from the home office the other day. A card, I should say, and they had decorated the back of the envelope. So tonight, that's what we're gonna do. Tonight, we're gonna take the Tigger, and we are going to put him on the back of the envelope, not the front. In the past, I would have done the front, and then we're not gonna put all the honey there, but we're gonna put 3 jars or so. And did you see how when I did that, I don't know, there's 6. So what I did was I carefully only inked up the first 3 jars. And so we've got to do this little signature stamp right here, which is this little heart. I love that heart. So this will be our card, our envelope then, that will go with this card. So that one is ready to go. Okay, let's put away the pumpkin pie, and I want to get out my paper pumpkin, and I want to show you what I did with that using the Casing Tuesday 570. But before I do that, let me just put away these stamps here, and I want to put away this paper so that I don't get things mixed up. I can do that very easily, and it just takes a minute to put this all away. So I carefully put it back inside of my 12 by 12, and I stick my little Silly Old Bear Designer Series paper scraps inside of it, and it's good to go. Did you guys know on the back of these 12 by 12s it tells you all the colors, and that helps me decide what kind of card base to use. Okay, so let's now pull out the paper pumpkin, which was Bikes and Blooms, I believe. Does that sound right? This is the kit, a subscription that you can start. Yes, it's called Bikes and Blooms, and it runs about $29 a month, and your credit card will be charged on the 11th of each month, and then it ships out, and I think I got mine on Saturday, which would have been June 20th. So that's not too bad to come all the way from Utah. But what I wanted to show you was in this paper pumpkin kit, this is like this is one of the cards that I did, and I always cut my bases in half, so then I have double the card bases. But these are two that I cut in half, and then I used old olive. Turned out pretty nice. And then this is one that I just did. This is another one that is one of the patterns. Isn't that just beautiful? Thank you. And I didn't stamp anything on the inside of that. And for some alternatives, I did what they call a Z-fold. And I did it. I cut this pretty, this pretty first layer of the card. I cut it in half. So here is one side of the bike, and here is the front of the bike. I made that into two Z folds. But really, what I wanted to show you was I did these two using you get a stamp set with every paper pumpkin, and with your first paper pumpkin you get a block. And like in this one, it came with the Calypso Coral ink spot, and then it had some twine in it, like here that you saw. It also had some silver matted butterflies. But anyway, let's get to what I wanted to do. So this is the Casing Tuesday 570 sample that I made. As you can see here, they all look different, don't they? And it's all with the same card sketch. So what you did was you cut, the first layer was 3 7/8 inch by 3 5/8 inch. So that's what this layer is, and that's what this layer is. And the third layer, or the second layer, is 4 1/2 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So, and then there was a Darling bike stamp that was included in this this subscription box this month. So what I did was I kind of followed the theme of these cards, you know, that had the bikes with flowers on the baskets and stuff. I did do I took the white gel pens and did the embellishments, plus I added those same, I call them turtle embellishments, and I need to check and see if they're still available. Last I knew, shades of green hexagons, that's what they're called. So I'm going to lay those there, so when I do my blog, all of the dimensions for these cards and these pictures will be on my blog sometime tomorrow night. And also with that white gel pen, you can see, remember on our bicycles we sometimes had fancy seat coverings? Well, I thought it'd be fun to put 4 dots on there, and then I put some more dots on the little basket. I also put dots on the butterflies, and this is that Olive Flutter punch. So I thought this card was really fun. And then the inside says, "Have a lovely day." And this card is, you know, made with the same card base, the pecan pie, and the same DSP. But on this DSP, you can tell that I stamped off the Calypso Coral flowers. Here, I just, I used it on the bottom of the bicycles so that they weren't floating in the air. This one says best wishes, and then inside it can be a thank you card. So those are my cards for this week. I hope I've inspired you to make some cards. And you don't necessarily have to have the silly old bear. You don't necessarily have to have the paper pumpkin. You can use what you have. But if you need, if you're interested in subscribing to the paper pumpkin, I will have a link that you can subscribe to that. I will also have in my blog a shopping list of all of the supplies that I did use. But my main thing is, this is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. My main thing is to coach people to eradicate loneliness. We need to make people's days, and you can do that in several ways. You can do that by being kind. You can do it by sending a text. But another way to do it, and something that's a little bit more permanent, is to send them a card. And so I will be mailing out these cards as soon as I get my blog done, as soon as I take the, well, I got to take the pictures first, do the blog, and then I will be mailing these cards out to people as thank yous that have attended my events. So it is my way of letting them know that I appreciate their support. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to end with let's create together, one card at a time. Mail your projects to make a difference in someone's world. So God bless, and if you have any questions on anything that I've done, you can sure contact me. Bye now.